What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to an episode of MMA Talk. Usually I'm breaking down or recapping UFC cards, but there's no cards, a little bit of break in the UFC, but I wanted to keep MMA Talk on Tuesdays, so I'm kind of making this similar in a way to Swipe Up, where I picked a few MMA themed posts from Instagram that I want to talk about. So let's get into it with this first one. It's not UFC. I'm usually just talking about UFC, but this one comes from Bellator. Big knockout from MVP, who is an exciting fighter to watch as far as the highlights that I've seen of his. I think he's maybe lost a couple times, maybe once, but has like just a really fun style. Like just so many of his videos online from not only Bellator but previous organizations, but very flashy kind of a style, but very flashy, but also very confident in his style. You know, there's not a whole lot, very minimal. But yeah, just a big walk-off KO from MVP. That's a guy that is going to be fun to see when he eventually. I would not be surprised if eventually he gets to the UFC. But I'd be interested to see how he performs against some elite. I don't even think he's competing in the top of the Bellator division. I don't even know what weight class he is, but yeah, just an awesome knockoff KO. Had to bring that one in. So moving on to speculation. Floyd Mayweather coming out of retirement, supposedly teaming up with Dana White again for I would imagine a boxing match. I can't imagine Floyd Mayweather ever doing MMA. I don't think he ever wants to lose, and he would he would even like the lowest, like the greenest MMA fighter on the roster in the smallest weight class would most likely destroy Floyd Mayweather in an MMA fight. A guy who only trains with his hands is not going to do very well when leg kicks and takedowns are a part of and he's not like a knockout puncher either. So he wouldn't do shit in MMA. But interested to see who he fights. Hopefully it's not Conor. I saw a poster with him and Khabib. That just seems like the dumbest thing ever. I don't know who would be fighting him in the, was it like 150, 155? I don't know what weight class he fights at. So interested, I guess. I'm not going to pay for any $100 pay-per-view. But definitely kind of interesting. I mean, it's just kind of an interesting thing. I prefer when MMA news dips in and covers boxing now and then, because at least boxing is a combat sport, as opposed to when MMA media dips their toe in WWE or fake wrestling or improv stunt people. Because it's like it. I would imagine for somebody who's dedicated their life to mixed martial arts to see the MMA media cover fake wrestling as if it is in any way related to what they do, I would just imagine that being pretty insulting, right? Because you saw what happens when a WWE guy that doesn't have any background in like wrestling, actual wrestling, like CM Punk when he came into MMA, he couldn't do shit. He didn't have any wrestling, even though he was a quote unquote professional wrestler. That's just how little you need to know to go into WWE. You have to be good. You have to be a good actor. You have to be a good actor and stunt person. That's it. You don't have to have any actual skills. There's no actual fighting going on. They're not doing things that are close to real. But yeah. So boxing, whatever. We'll see. We'll see. Let's move on to
I love the
Ariel
fact that
Helwani
she
from
stays true to
Ariel
herself.
and the
She
Bad
speaks from the heart.
Guy
She's very real.
show on
She's very
ESPN. Let's see
authentic.
if
She has
this gets to be
overcome a lot in
pulled.
her life. And I love the
Talking
fact that
about
when I
what's
spoke
next
to
for
her on
Rose
Monday, she
Namajunas.
was
I
very
love
passionate,
Rose.
that she's not afraid
And
to shed tears, that she's not afraid to be
devastated to
open
see
about
her
how she felt
lose
about
the
losing
belt,
her love and
even
passion.
though
This
she
is
was
very
dominating the
relatable
first
stuff.
round in
We
her
all
fight
go
against
through this,
Jessica
and
Andrade.
you fighters in
But let's see
particular go
what
through
Ariel
this.
has
And so I
to
love
say.
the fact that she wasn't afraid to speak about this. And I'm happy that she has refound that love. I'm happy that she wants to come back. And you know what? I'm also happy that she doesn't want to just jump in there and fight for the belt again and says like, oh, I deserve a title shot. There's a new champion. She considers herself the best, and she doesn't feel like she needs to jump in there. And I like that, because I believe that when you take some time off, when you're trying to reinvent yourself, it's okay to ease your way back into things. It's okay to take your time. You don't have to jump back in there and fight for the belt right away. So I respect that she has that confidence in herself. As far as who she should fight next, I actually think it makes a lot of sense for her to fight Jessica Andrade next.
For more Ariel and the Bad Guy.
I actually agree with that. I wouldn't mind seeing her fight Jessica Andrade in a rematch. Andrade no longer has the belt, lost it to Wei Li, Wei Li Zhang. So yeah, and she was winning that fight. It was literally a mental lapse in she didn't let go of a submission and ended up getting slammed, almost slammed on her head. So I wouldn't mind seeing that as far as like who if she's not going to fight for the belt right away. I mean the yeah, that just it seems like that's the one to go with. Maybe like a Karate Hottie, maybe or like one of those bigger names in the thing. But I think that fight would be an easy win for Rose. Um, but that would be the only one, either Andrade or maybe a Karate Hottie. But moving on to, there's been a lot of drama between Jon Jones and Stylebender. Stylebender is making me less of a Jon Jones fan. It's crazy. Despite all of the craziness Jon Jones has put himself through and his fans through, I'm still a fan of Jon. But it's just like I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is, but it's just my desire to my heat, the fire, the passion that I have to watch Jon Jones be dominant is not as much. He's not as good of a shit talker as Stylebender. And let's go with this post real quick here from Jon Jones. I'm going to tell my kids Anderson Silva was the greatest middleweight of all time. #facts. Which I'm going to tell my kids meme, little overplayed, but clearly taking shots at Stylebender. But yeah, Anderson Silva definitely one of the goats, but not currently at the top of the heap. Here's another post here from John. Moving on here to this other post. John saying, "Bro, you're gaining some popularity. I've seen so many popular fighters come and go over the years. Statistically, we're nowhere near the same level. I'm going to start treating you that way. You get no more responses out of me until 2021. I'll be interested to hear your excuse then." And then Adesanya replies, "LOL, okay, boomer." Which I kind of like that boomer it has become almost like an insult. We've kind of, with our PC language, we've gotten rid of a lot of fun, insulting words. But boomer, I mean, it's insulting to a generation, but it's a fun word. Yeah, but Stylebender, and he forced Jon Jones hasn't stopped. He's been going nonstop trying to get it. It's crazy how Jon Jones is obsessed with Stylebender, obsessed. Yeah, let's move on to the last post here from Wei Li Zhang Wei Li, I'm sorry. She said, "I think she sounds very angry all the time, and her emotions will get her in trouble. She's willing to fight me now, but there was a time she didn't want to fight me as well. I'm ready anytime for battle. Just call my manager, Mr. Brian Butler, and the boss Dana, and we could fight next week. This is Zhang Wei Li talking about potential matchup with Joanna, which I think is the next matchup for her. But it's true, man. Joanna is very emotional. She tends to blame. It seems like she doesn't want to take responsibility for her shortcomings. And I think Zhang Wei Li is just well-rounded, dominant. It's gonna be an interesting fight when she fights Rose. I think Zhang Wei Li beats Joanna, and then I think whoever Rose fights, she'll win, and then she'll get the title fight next. So maybe towards the end of the year or middle of the year, maybe the International Fight Week, we'll see Zhang Wei Li versus Rose Namajunas. That would be a great fight. But that's it. Let's do some shout-outs real quick and get out of here. Shout out ESPN MMA. Shout out Bellator MMA. Shout out UFC, Floyd Mayweather, Dana White, Ariel Helwani, Rose Namajunas. Shout out Johnny Bones. Shout out Stylebender, MMAJunkie.com, and Zhang Wei Li MMA. That's it for this episode of MMA Talk. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Go buy my artwork over at InspiredDisorder.com and save 25% when you use coupon code RTS. Follow me on social media at Ray Taylor. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!